So the journey and road to recovery began so long ago, and to finally be able to see those changes, feel those changes, and be able to express those changes now within my shoulder and my leg, it feels so wonderful. It feels almost like a dream, like this isn't real, you know what I'm saying? Like I busted my ass so much to get to this point, and just to be able to finally see my hard work finally pay off and see it in my squats. Not only my squats, but just so many different movements. But this video is primarily going to be focusing on the squat. I've always dealt with shoulder pain when it comes to putting that bar across, across my shoulders, across the neck. It's been pinched off. The heaviest I've ever been able to go when I was in Iowa was 500 pounds. But like going up in heavy weight, it's always felt like it's that your arm, your circulation being cut off, if I can describe it in short form. And like I would love to show people that I was benching or bench squatting 500 pounds, but I do not have that footage. And if I could, the only way is if I could get the girls from the basketball team to kind of vouch for, they didn't even get to see me squat it, but they came in for weight training when I was finishing up, and I challenged the girls to see who could lift 500 pounds. Only one person could lift that 500 pounds, and she was one of our equine students, Rebecca Hart. And yeah, she was country strong. I thought our other post player, Janae Williams, I thought she was gonna be able to get that weight up, but she definitely tried. She got very close. If you don't know what a box squat is, it's basically where you have the bench or a box under you to catch you, where you sit in or tapping your hamstrings or your butt, and then you come right back up. So you don't go fully deep into a squat like how they do with powerlifting. But like I am so excited and grateful to be able to say I don't have that pain anymore. I don't have that shoulder pain anymore, and it's such a great feeling, and it's come with so much hard work behind the scenes that people don't get to see. One of the things that I attribute to being able to lift that 500 pounds was because my traps were massive. I did shoulder shrugs with heavy weight as well at the time that I was building up my squats and my deadlifts. And I truly attribute that to being able to lift heavy. But now, like, and also being a heavier weight, I was 145 pounds around about at the time that I was up in Iowa, because I ain't had nothing to do. All I did was work out, eat outside of working with the basketball team. And, you know, just lay around. And it was cold. I ain't about to be outside like that. What? Who? Basketball is a winter sport. So I can now say where I'm at. I'm a lighter, right? I weighed myself the other day. I'm only 125, 130 pounds. I'm say 125. With clothes on, 125 pounds, and technique is huge. Now that I understand that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always would say, and it is true, mass moves mass. But if you can get mass to move mass and also have great technique, you will have one hell of a lifter. And like looking back at my old videos, I don't downplay aids or tools, because they're needed. They are needed. As a stroke survivor, who ain't had tools? Like, I had a UFO, I had a knee brace, I was put in a sling, I still have to this day a E-stim stimulator. I have, you know, all of these tools and aids that help with movement. You know, we use weights, we use sticks, we use PVC pipes, we use medicine balls, all of these different tools and aids to help with movement. But when it comes to being able to go to that aid or that tool, or finding a way to develop that movement without having to use those aids, I'm gonna go for trying to find a way around not using that tool or aid. I'd rather correct my bottom line, my issue, my problem at its core, rather than trying to continuously build an unstable structure. And that's basically what I ended up doing once I moved back to Louisville. I completely stopped lifting heavy weight. I started to lose weight. My knees were screaming at me, like I could not move or could not function. And there were so many other things going wrong with my body, and not just my physical body, but the mental one as well. And when all of those things are out of sync, so many things just go left. They go wrong. Things just don't feel right. Um, so with all that being said, not only, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like it gets better and better and better, and it's only gonna get better and better and better. So not only am I able to sit the bar across my shoulders without any pain, I also now have finally figured out how to squat and keep my stroke foot flat. So last year, toward the end of the year, before it got cold, I want to say like late summer, early fall, I had posted a picture of me in Malasana, right? So Malasana is just a squat, body weight squat, but your ass is to the grass. You know how what the catchers are in baseball, in that position. So in that picture, my heel, I'm in the grass though, so you really can't tell. So in that picture, my heel is up, right? It only looks like my heel is completely down because, you know, the grass is dirt and is basically little lumps and hills and stuff like that. And the grass itself kind of gives you a little boost. So my foot, it looked like my foot was all the way down, but it wasn't. So if I were to have squatted on a completely flat surface and tried to do Malasana, you would see that my left foot is all the way down, right one is not. So a couple months, not even a couple months ago, maybe a month ago, or so, is before my Florida trip, I had told one of my clients, I told her I'm going to get my heel down all the way when I squat. And she was like, huh? And I showed her what I was able to do. And, you know, I just explained what I wanted out of it. And basically it boils down, I was like, I feel like it has something to do with my big toe. It has something to do with the toes. And lo and behold, I was right to a certain extent, but it has something to do with the hip and the big toe, or the toes in general. So when I talk about aids, right, in one of my earlier videos, I had showed a way to be able to deep squat if you don't have good ankle range of motion. So people use plates to elevate their heels. You can use padding to elevate your heels. There are specific ramps, that's what I'm gonna call them, little ramps made to help you lift your heel. Shoes are made now, those platform shoes. The Romeros are one, not the Nike Romeros, I think I'm saying the name right, is a platform shoe. I think they call them powerlifting shoes because you can use them for deadlifts and or squats or whatever movement you're doing, hang clings, cling and jerks and stuff, things of that nature. And it helps you to drop into your squat a lot easier. So that's what I mean by aids and tools when it comes to fitness. Not just like aids and tools as far as helping you to move, right? Because That's part of rehab, right? Also, the other tool, so when I was having issues with my shoulder, there was a colleague at the gym that recommended there was this back piece. So y'all know the foam piece that goes across the bar to help with pressure or padding the bar so it's not pushing into your scaps or your traps heavily. So that is a tool and an aid. But he had a plastic piece, a blue plastic piece, that I guess you attach to the bar, and it helped people who doesn't have good range of motion in their shoulders to be able to hold the bar across their back. That's what I mean by aids and tools. Belts, right? Even though like lifting crazy amounts of weight, it is important because you have to create that pressure in your abdomen, especially when you're deadlifting and squatting. But those belts is an aid and a tool, because I was able to deadlift 385 when I was in Iowa again, without a belt. So it's also all about how you're training your core to compress to help support your spine and your movements. But they are needed. But in my opinion, like I think about Steph Curry all the time, right? He has these braces. He also has shoes specifically made for his feet, and yet you still have ankle issues. So what are you really doing to address your weak ass ankles? Excuse my language. And I'm getting off topic. What I want this video to be about is basically sharing with you guys what I've done, the exercises and movements that I've done to help me get to the point that I'm at now. And I would say I started heavily incorporating these into a routine slowly, trying to figure out, like, weeding out what works. And the last, I say 2 years, working these in some kind of form, has helped tremendously. I have a video over on YouTube, Taylor Training Media, right, where I talk about, it's a presentation where I'm doing a voiceover talking about how yoga saved my life. And it really has. It has opened up movements, physically, mentally, channels that, I've never even thought to go down. It's opened up a huge rabbit hole for me to go down. So I encourage people to go check out and listen to the video, watch the presentation, because a lot of the exercises here are yoga based. Right, so first one, we're gonna start with the upper body, and then I'm gonna go to the lower body. I may or may not insert video clips of these different stretches because I do them in different ways, and I ain't trying to give y'all all my sauce. You gotta come and train with Taylor Training if you want all of the sauce, specifically tailored for you. You know what I'm saying? Because what worked for me may not work for you right away, and we can switch it up. We can work around that and figure out what does work for you. So child's pose with active arms, and I would use the massage gun to really loosen up my tight points. Reach through stretch, also known as thread the needle. Deep pectoral release. So I would again use my gun, but I posted a video over on Instagram where I demonstrate how you can actually do the door stretch in a more effective way if you use the Smith machine. So basically the Smith machine is like a wider door, and you can get a huge deep pectoral release. Stretching out my biceps or releasing my biceps. Again, the massage gun, also using my thumb is the best way. And then the door stretch or the deep pectoral release also helps to stretch out the biceps. And then releasing all of the anterior portion of the body. Now we have to strengthen and focus on building up the posterior chain. So a ton of band work, band separations in all directions with all different sizes, different angles, different movements, and things of that nature. So trying to rows, because yesterday I got 115 on my seated row, and I haven't done heavy seated rows in I don't know how long. Okay, since I was lifting with my daddy and I was working at the Y. So that's been about 4 years now. So yeah, strengthening the posterior chain. Posterior chain is huge when it comes to movement, okay? That's what I've learned so far during this journey. Posterior chain is huge. I cannot stress that enough, okay? And then let's get into the lower body exercises. So horse pose is just a squat. You're holding a squat, like you're riding a horse. And it's just an isometric contraction to build strength and activation, and have everything firing at one time to work together to keep you steady in one spot. Donkey kicks. The reason I like donkey kicks, or the reason I've learned that I like donkey kicks, is because it has you stabilize on one leg with the arms helping you out. So when you're stabilizing on that one leg, the glutes are firing on that one leg at the same time as you're doing the donkey kick with the other one to stimulate the glutes. So you get double the work when it comes to donkey kicks for your glute activation. A side lunge stretch is the main one these last few weeks that has helped me to keep my heel down. Okay, this was a game changer and eye opener. I did not know how tight my inner thigh was. I'm gonna say growing area, because everybody has one. They be like, no, girls don't have a growing. Yes, we do, an area. It may not be exactly set up the way guys' areas are, but yes, we do. But the side lunge stretch, huge, very helpful in hip internal rotation. Frogger stretch, another internal rotation. Happy baby pose mixed hybrided with a butterfly stretch. I may have to show you guys what that looks like, but you're on your back, grab your feet, pull your feet towards you, use your arms to push your legs outward. So it's a happy baby butterfly hybrid. Then Malasana. The best way to do anything is just to do it. People look at me, I don't know if I am right now, but being able to do a pull-up, people are like, well, I want to, at least in my lifetime, be able to do one pull-up. And I'm like, well, the best thing for you to do is for your body to see what that feels like, what that is like mechanically for it to go through that process. So squatting, the best thing to do is for me to actually squat. So those are all the exercises that I've used heavily over these last 6 months for sure, but definitely started at least 2 years ago. Hopefully this video helps somebody that is going through something similar to what I'm going through, to what I've experienced in my life. As far as being a stroke survivor, having shoulder pain, my shoulder is completely rotated forward. It's not anymore. Like, I'm gonna have to go back and really look at some of the videos that I've posted before to see if I can find one that really shows, so I can show you guys the difference and the comparison. Because, man, but I don't think any is out there because I was so insecure about taking videos or photos of me in that state. Because I don't, you know what I'm saying? It was just, yeah, I was just insecure. It was a problem for me. So, now I'm just trying to inspire and help who comes behind me. So, again, hopefully this video helps someone else. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment to Tailored Training Media. As always, everything is motivation. Peace.